Hey everyone, today I focused on building this lovely, vibrant home. I focused a bit more on the interior with this one, really trying to build a story behind the kind of the person who would live here. But I did still try and do a few little bits on the outside. Hopefully you enjoy it, have fun. I'm going to start as I usually do with a bit of planning. I'm hoping to go very vibrant with this, quite bright colours, but not too overpowering, with quite a few multiple layers. So before, when I did just a bird's eye view, that was just the top, but I'm also going to do a front-on view for this one because there's going to be a lot more layers to this. Right, so I've done a few more little plans here than I did in my previous walkthrough kind of thing. This time I've got a front profile, a side profile, and a bird's eye. So there's going to be a little bit of a garden here. The idea was this is going to be some sort of balcony. It's going to come across the front, and it's going to be kind of like a tunnel into the entrance that's going to be there. And I'm going to use these kind of brighter, vibrant colours, a bit of like the purple, like the indigo. Is indigo purple? That kind of color scheme, and hopefully that should translate pretty well into Minecraft. But of course, this isn't permanent. This is a base plan, and it will evolve as we get into the real thing. The only thing is the back and sides are going to be a bit plain. In the last one, we had like the overgrowths and the vines that went up the side, which made it a bit more detailed. So I was thinking maybe try and do some graffiti or something on the sides and back. That really depends on how much space we have in Minecraft and how we can really build around that. I'm not sure how exactly to make that work just yet. Right, so now in Minecraft, I'm going to get started a bit. I do kind of want it to line up a bit with this here from the last video, which it might not exactly. So I'm going to leave space for a bit of a walkway or something here, because I don't know, I might want to bring them together in future. So I'll start from here, and then I could do like a path forward if I get time later. There's the front walkthrough, and that is the start, and we'll move backwards from here. Right, there's the base front. So we've got the tunnel into the doorway there. A bit darker behind with the front wall, and you can see the start of the balcony coming out. I am worried that the walkway is very large in comparison to the rest of the building, so I might just expand the rest of the building outwards to the sides to try and make it a bit more proportionate. It's already deviating from the plan a little bit, but that is alright. There's going to be a lot of that anyway. And so now I'm going to work on the main base around the sides and back now of this first floor. Right, I've there expanded it a bit further back than on my plan again as well, just to try and make it match the width. I mean, I already intended it to be quite flat, you know, kind of like these would be compact houses. You kind of have them like back to back, side to side, all squished together. So it's kind of, you've got that wide, you know, it looks nice from the front and really big, but actually at the back it's much smaller, that kind of idea of, it looks massive, but really there's not as much space inside. But I did make it a bit longer anyway, just because it was a bit too compact. So that is kind of going to be the base for the first floor, how big it's going to be, and then it will kind of be the balcony extending over into the second floor from there. So I will work on that now. Again, that kind of outside area there is looking a bit big. The proportions need a lot of editing because it builds around this kind of tunnel to the entrance, and the tunnel to the entrance is very big. But I feel like if I made it any smaller, I'd have to make it smaller on all sides, and then it would be really tiny. So I'm kind of working around that, and I think that is a bit smaller now. But I'm seeing how much space there is on the outside. It's a lot more than I thought on this balcony here. So I can probably have a little staircase on the outside that goes up to the garden on the top roof. I like gardens. It's going to be a lot less interesting. There's a lot of texturing and stuff to do on this build, but there isn't as much on this side. So the walls are going to be a bit smoother and cleaner, which I'm not sure too much what I'm going to do with, but we'll work with that when we get to it. There we go, that feels a bit more balanced. So now I'll work around the walls of this upstairs area now. Right, I've built that main frame around the upstairs area now, and a bit of a marking for where the floor is going to be, and just continuing that purple ring around because I know that the way it blends in with the floor really matters here, just to give it a little bit of extra detail around the back. I've also extended the balcony slightly so that this isn't the tunnel isn't protruding so much, and it also gives us a bit of like space underneath to put a little bit of something there, something a little bit more interesting, maybe a bit of like just support beams or something, just anything around the front of the building that makes it a little bit more interesting. There is a lot of space in this open area, but for now I think I'm going to work on the roof now, and that will be pretty much the shell done, and we can work a bit more on detailing in the interiors. There we go, that's nice. I don't think the bone meal worked out quite as well as I wanted it to, but I've just dotted around some flowers in there, and I will go for this kind of glass pane around the outside again. I'm thinking my staircase is just going to come down there and around, and that should work perfectly fine. So now I am going to actually work on this underneath bit around the front because I think that is going to be very important. There we go, I think that makes the front a bit more vibrant. Nice lantern light. A bit of red that contrasts the brighter colours a lot better, and a few lilacs and the flowering azaleas dotted about. Makes it more pink and bright and lovely. And just adds a bit more life to the front of it rather than just the dull terracotta, which we could actually, this may be a bit too much. Bit of a stair, ooh, what am I doing? Stair around the top, not that one. I don't think that's too much, I think that's lovely. There we go, that's a lovely little bit. Can we still actually sit on this? Yes, we can. Just making sure. It's pretty nice, just a little bit of a rim around it. Lovely. And I'll just make a bit of a doorway here, just so it actually leads somewhere. And I'm going to make a bold flooring choice with the glazed terracotta. That is, that is going to be a rough one. There we go, definitely a bold choice, but I think it does work quite nice here, and I'm not going for kind of like the separated rooms thing that I did in the previous build, so it should be alright, and I think I've done this right. I'm just looking at it now, and I'm doubting myself, because, oh no, you're kidding me, some of those circles don't line up, do they? Yeah, there's supposed to be circles in the middle like that, oh my goodness. Why? Okay, I've actually done it this time. Note to self for future, never use glazed terracotta again. That is longer than a floor should take. But it does look nice, to be fair. It does. I do like the glazed terracotta, as annoying as it can be sometimes. Don't do that in survival, because like waiting to mine it all up again and stuff will just be a nightmare, quite honestly. I wasn't even supposed to be doing the interior yet. I was trying to focus on the exterior and like balcony and stuff, but I just didn't do that. I might just do a little bit more up front here, but yeah, I'm doing this now, and now I will actually move on to the balcony like I intended to do before, but then just kind of naturally transitioned into the flooring because I get easily distracted. Is that right? No, it is not. Goodness me. Just spin around until it works. There we are. And I might just do lanterns again. Yeah, just to light it up a bit on the entrance. Or lanterns there. Stairs there? No. Maybe. Hold on, just... That's a bit better. I'll take that. And could we do trapdoors? Trial and error is a big thing, and you're gonna have a lot of fun swapping stuff around. That's why it's always nice to like planning creative before you go into survival, but also um, all part of the fun in survival when you get to try a ton of new things as well. Oh, that looks lovely. That looks absolutely beautiful. Hold on. I love it with the trapdoors there. But also it is a bit oh, idea. I know editing me is gonna hate this because I'm building whilst talking, which makes it harder to edit, but yes! The glowstone in the floor under the moss carpet. The moss carpet was already placed perfectly. Trapdoors are basically vertical slabs. It is beautiful and it is brilliant and I love it. That is a wonderful little entranceway. I actually really love that. Good little contrast, like the brightest pink into the lightest pink into the dullest pink and floor. Yes, I love it. The terracotta doesn't exactly line up well because it's like the 2x2 things, but I don't care. It looks lovely. And I was going to go for the door, I was going to do a mangrove door, but I may actually go for a cherry door now. Or do I stick with mangrove? I think I stick with mangrove. Fits better with the wall around it. No, go the other way. Oh, why? There we go. I like it when it opens to the left. Don't know why, just do. Now I'm actually going to do the balcony like I wanted to. I've not got many ideas for the balcony other than the staircase there, so I'm just gonna have a bit of fun with it. Place some like seats and stuff around, a bit of chests and lots of little bits, maybe even some like plant pots and stuff. Just have fun with it, try a bunch of different stuff and see what works. There we go, that's a bit nicer. I still feel like this front bit's a bit empty, but it's not that wide, it's only two. It's nice to be supposed to be a little bit of a hob area, like a barbecue kind of thing, but I don't know. It still looks fancy, and that's good enough for me. I really like these kind of chair things. I did it down here. This is kind of what your chairs would really look like, you know? I mean, you would usually have a chair arm on each side, but you have like a table next to it. You know, you don't usually have, I mean, you do have tables in front of your chairs, but, you have like a table next to your chair. And I prefer that to kind of like your standard, have it like that and have it in front. I like it a bit more open there. Bit of a chair underneath the a chest underneath the stairs, because why not? What happens? I like this little viewing platform bit here. I thought that this was a bit nice, having these leading upwards, and I changed the colour of the glass, and even gave it a bit of a gradient going upwards, becoming more pink onto here. I just nice little details. The best thing for building is just try a bunch of different stuff, see what works, see what doesn't, have a bit of fun with it, see what looks nice. You know, you can get a million ideas come to your head and just try a few different things. If you've not got ideas, just grab some random blocks and mess around with them. I just thought, I just thought, okay, for plant pots and stuff, I'm not really gonna want grass on the inside. 'Cause if I want grass, I might as well just have a plant rather than just a pot. And I thought, okay, well, I'll have a block in the middle and have some trapdoors around it. Then I saw the mangrove ones, saw the little hole in the middle, and thought, oh, I can do something decorative with that, and have a bit of a contrast between what's inside the hole in the trapdoor and the actual colour of the trapdoor. So, okay, let's go for something a bit more dull, polished andesite, and that works going up here. Well, to be natural, it kind of needs something to support it rather than it just hanging off the stair, because otherwise you've just got a massive weight pulling down your stairs, which means it's not going to hold up. So the walls keep it upwards, makes it look a bit more natural like that. Lanterns, there needs to be lighting, otherwise it's going to be really dull here. So you can have it hanging off the sides of here, and that adds a bit more of something to be on the wall rather than just an empty wall. And like up here, it doesn't look very supported with just that coming out. That looks really dull and empty. Boom! Now it looks like it's properly attached to the wall. It's just little things, mess with little bits, mess with little trapdoors in places, you know, have fun with it. But I think that is mostly the exterior done with, ignoring like the back, which I'll move on to something for the back later. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but again, it's just going to be mess around with it, have fun. Now I'm going to work a bit more with interior because there's bats in here, and also we need a bit of a second floor here, which I don't think I don't think I'll go for glazed terracotta again. I made the note in my head, don't use glazed terracotta like less than half an hour ago. I mean I've been recording for 50 minutes, so maybe it was half an hour ago. I don't know. But I'm not gonna use glazed terracotta. No, don't do that. I might use like a concrete or something. I'll experiment with things. Have fun. That's the point. Have fun. Okay, so I went for a bit of a blue here, so it contrasts the purple out here. The bats are really getting annoying now. Um, I don't think this is the best staircase, but it works. I just don't think the planks work so well, but there's not really much. I mean, I could use. There's not loads else to use other than the wood ones. I mean, there is a lot, but for like vibrant colours. I'll experiment with a few different things, but I prefer slab staircases to like staircases so much. I might experiment with chairs a bit more, but I much prefer slabs. Oh yeah, that's actually quite nice. Yeah, didn't do much experimenting at all there. Would be nice if we had like a solid, like prismarine bricks, a prismarine brick wall, but we don't. So I'm just going to have to work with a more rugged look for that. But other than that, I think that is perfectly fine. That works very well, and I'll work on some actual indoorsy stuff now. Alright, so for this interior, I thought a lot more about the kind of person who'd be living in this house. For this build, it was kind of just functionality, just had a lot of, okay, we have everything you will need. Like, this is a survivor's, like, base. This is, I am living here and I have all of my tools, my building blocks, I have tons of furnaces, I have tons of brewing stands, I'm experienced at the game, and I just want everything in one building. Whereas this one, I thought a lot more about the kind of person who lives in this house and what they would be doing. So I thought about here, I first went for like the chest under the stairs, same as I did upstairs. The storage is a bit more hidden because it's less about practicality, it's more about what it looks like. And I came over here, I thought, okay, well, you got this bright, pretty pink house. It's not going to be all gruff and survivally on the inside. You don't put your grindstone and your anvils inside of your pretty pink house. At least, well, you would for functionality if you're playing survival, but for the aesthetics of creative, you don't put like your smithing table in your pretty pink house. So I went for like crafting table as a basic, and then a loom. These little sewing things. And I thought lectern. It's like, oh, you've got a book open, you're reading a book. Um, and thought, okay, well, what if they're like you don't keep your book that you're currently in the middle of reading on a lectern, so that, oh, well, if they're learning, oh, why don't I put like a brewing stand? I thought enchantment table originally, but that's already got a book open, and also it's a bit bigger. You need to have like, I mean, for practicality, you need to have like bookshelves around it and stuff, and it just takes up an entire block. So, okay, brewing stand, that's a bit easier. And I used the purple because it's a nice another purple block. And I originally had it without this block here, but I thought put the block there as a bit of like a support, because just having the slab come out of the wall, it didn't feel fully supported. Like it looked like it would collapse at any moment, and that created quite a nice little desk thing. So this is like a little office space almost. I thought, okay, well, if they've got this book here, they're going to want more bookshelves, so they'll have bookshelves here. And then when I was filling space over here, I thought bookshelf there. Thought if you're in Pretty Pink House, you've got some music going. I thought, okay, well, this space feels really open. I've not really got anything else to put here unless you want me to put my grindstones and my anvils in my Pretty Pink House. But okay, well, we'll go for some paintings. And I originally went for like the like blue skies on either side with the sunset in the middle, but I thought I want to put something over the bed, but there's not really anything nice to hang over the bed. So okay, well, sunset photo over a bed, that's quite logical. And okay, well, we got these three there. That was my thought process through it all. And also loved the doorway so much I did it twice. Also did it on the inside because that was a bit boring. And that was the entire thought process for what to do for the interior. And it's still got quite a lot of open space, which is quite nice. And now I need to think of a little something for up here because it's quite empty, and also there's just the dirt above here. So that is the next step, is the inside of there, and then after that, just do a little something for the back and sides, and that should be good. Honestly, for the amount of detail I put a lot more thought into this than I did that. I put a lot more detail into this, put a lot more thought into this. And we're actually coming up, I mean, I've worked so far, I've worked an hour and 5 minutes on this. I worked about an hour and 40, hour and 45 on that. So we'll see how long the rest of this takes me, so whether it's kind of an equal amount. Okay, so downstairs we kind of established these paintings, and so I kind of just continued that up here. Thought, okay, well, art, we can keep going with art, that's quite nice. And there are quite a few nice ones. These are the two new ones, but these three are older. I remember these. Here, I thought for the roof, just put some slabs over to make sure it doesn't seem too compact while still covering up the dirt, which can be awkward to work with lighting, especially considering I've used lanterns everywhere else. But I just thought, okay, if I make the corners full blocks, that still works. And I only really need lanterns on one side, so it can still look just purely decorative on this side. Here, I thought I'd put that enchantment table to use, and I put this as a bit of a seating area here, and it's kind of like I did out here with the tables on the side. Utilising the blue again with the prismarine, kind of matches in a bit with the darker floor, and it's just kind of like a regular, I can't remember what it's called, like a chair-side table, not a bedside table, I keep thinking bedside table, but chair-side table. And the red just looks like a fancy cloth, and you can't see the obsidian, so it just looks like kind of more like a normal table. Like if you didn't know what an enchantment table was, it'd just be like, it's just a table with a fancy red draping cloth, a fancy red cloth over it. I don't know what what's a drape? I don't know what I'm and a floating book on it for reasons. I think that works quite nice. And I think that is a lovely little interior thing done. That is beautiful. The last thing to do now is kind of like the sides and the back. Need a little bit of something to decorate it because it looks very dull. The sides I can live with, the back I absolutely cannot. I thought a bit about graffiti, that kind of thing, but I just thought that's not going to look like originally, like I said before, I was thinking like, oh, it's a compact house, it's like squished. It's designed to be a house that's copy and pasted all the way down the street. you know, get loads of people living in it, high population density, but it's actually turned out quite differently to that. So I don't think the graffiti would really fit in with that kind of aesthetic. So I need to think a bit more about what do you put on the side and the back to the pretty pink house. I might have to do some Google searches and look at some other people's builds to think a bit more about it, because I'm really not quite sure on this now. I don't really want anything technical down the side. It's going to take some thinking. And bats. The damn bats are everywhere. I can't get rid of them now, but I don't really want to kill them. Ah. Okay, so what I've done is literally just loads and loads of banners. It really is nothing special, but it just gives it a little something. It's a little bit of a pattern that goes along the back without having to change the colour of the walls. I've just done a ton of little patterns where like the magenta, purple and pink all fade in together and like match in the middle, so each separate pattern is symmetrical, and it's just a little bit of something. Also has a bit of depth to it, which is fine. When you get a bit closer, it kind of ruins it a bit, but from a distance, it definitely looks really nice. The way it fades down as well, because the bottom banners are darker than the ones at the top, just because of how they fall onto each other, which is quite nice. Yeah, it's nothing special, but it's just a little something around the back, which makes it rather nice, and gives it a little something rather than just really, really dull. So that is the second building now. It's a lot smaller than that, but I think there's a lot more detail put into the interior and stuff than there is in here. So a very harsh contrast from like the dark and dull to the bright and colourful. But that's just what I came up with. I'm just coming up with a little something every week. I probably should have planned ahead. Like this week I'm going to do this build, this week I'm going to do that build. But no, I am just thinking of this stuff pretty much just on the spot, only a few days before. I could do a little building out, like a path out to the middle. It would be like maybe put like a roundabout or a fountain or something in the middle. I don't know. A little bit of a plaza. Could think about that at some point, but I don't really know just yet. Not my problem just yet, actually. I'm just going to keep building nice houses and stuff. So I'll think about what to do next week, but for now, that is me done. I said I was done, but I've decided against it. I would like to take just this photo. Oh, that's not what I'm... You are going to be awkward. Oh, I have to select it specifically out of here. Alright, there's no 3x2s, which is a bit annoying, but maybe we'll just have Graham there. I did not know it was called Graham, but that is incredible. Graham is now there. I was just looking at it, and I just thought that there's something missing there. I need something there. And so that's something. It's not much, but it's something. It still feels a bit bland on those upper walls, but I'm not sure there's really much I can do. There's nothing in my head at the moment. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully, you learned a little bit of something about the thought process of building, how you can better build and apply these things to your own building projects, or hopefully, you at least just had some fun watching for a while. I certainly had fun. I don't know what I'll be building next week because I don't plan these things through, but hopefully, I can see you there again. But other than that, have a nice day, goodbye, and as always, stay creative.